Great day, family. Another episode with taking the time out with TNO. Hey, so why nobody ever told me that this is like a 30-second timeout? This is like a full timeout, but the official sign is timeout. I thought that was a technical foul.
I think it's how many times they hit it.
Oh, so if they go like this, that's a tech.
I think so.
So we just coming back
No,
at
it's
you.
like, when they be doing tech, they just be, man, you gonna keep hitting me in my face?
Oh, my bad.
They be like this.
Yeah,
Remember
so
when they do tech, they do
oh,
that.
they just go that. Okay.
And then when the coaches be on timeout, they go, timeout. And then they say they want a 30 or they want a full.
Okay, so we've been doing this timeout. We're telling you that's less than 30 seconds. This is a full. So this is a timeout. We're taking a timeout. But I will call a tech on you, though. Like, if I do that, that's a tech foul on the play. And we're going to talk about the fouls on the play. Anyway, another episode. This episode, we want to talk about remember when. Remember when. So do you remember our first kiss?
You asking me?
Babe, why can't we kiss?
All the episodes.
But we supposed to kiss. Don't y'all agree we should kiss?
I don't want to kiss.
That's the romance. But do you remember our first kiss? That's bringing back the romance, babe.
No, yeah, I remember.
Remember our first kiss.
Do you remember? No,
Yeah.
I remember.
I remember. Yeah, our first kiss was, it was at a party. And then I think I gave you such a great kiss. You was
Okay,
like,
all
you
right.
called me.
Okay. Tech.
No, babe.
You about to get ejected.
No, you
That's
called
not
me.
even the truth.
You called me and was like, hey, come, let me get some more of those lips.
That don't even sound like me.
You was like, well, let me have some more of that. You asked for some more, so I got in my car. I left the party because she went home, and we kissed on the porch of her sister's house, Shauna, where she was staying. So
No.
it was like our first two kisses. So.
Okay, yeah.
So we just want to talk about remember when. So you and your spouse talk about your first kiss because we want to continue to ignite that romance. So this timeout is really dedicated to helping you create intimacy in your marriage and just being able to talk about and communicate certain things when you are going through tough situations.
So I think the remember wins do help though. Like when we sit back and we think about not just kissing and all that stuff, but like one of our funnier memories or something that happened that made us laugh a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever was really funny. I think, and let me know if it's the same for you, but sometimes those memories, when you sit back and you think about those memories and you allow them to stir up that feeling, like those butterflies you used to get, or if I remember how I felt with our first kiss.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember how we felt on our first date, and I remember how we felt when we were laughing like a lot,
mm-hmm.
and the funniest moments. I remember all those things, and I will say that those things have helped me like you when I didn't like you. Like there's times where I just legit do not like you.
Okay, so that's a great question. What do you do when you don't like your spouse?
Somebody asked us that. Somebody asked us, what do you do when you just flat out don't like your spouse?
Because, I mean, it's not a lot of times, but sometimes I'm like, oh, I just do not like you. But, 1 Corinthians, so this is where we bring in some Bible, because we cannot do this without God. In 1 Corinthians 13, they call it the love chapter. It says, love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. So when you are not liking or feeling like you are in love with your spouse, that's when you actually should remember the times and remember the purpose for your marriage. Remember your vows, your wedding vows. But also,
I don't be thinking about no vows.
I know, but I'm just saying, but that's the time to actually serve. To love is to serve. And so love is an action. Remember, we said love is an action. So as we are not just talking about that emoting love, but we're actually serving out of our duties to love. Right?
Okay. I think, I mean, the memory, the point of what I was saying is the memory just takes I don't know, I think it just, I can't think of the word. It just kind of like, it helps me calm down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's hard to stay mad at somebody like, man, that's my dude. Like he real cool, and you know, like he makes me laugh or he makes me happy or whatever those feels are.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to stay mad at you for a long period of time when I remember all of the good times, like the people say the good times outweigh the bad times,
Mm-hmm.
type of thing like that. So I think that it does me a great deal to sit in those feelings for a minute, because if I sit in it again, it takes the edge off. It calms me down. It's like, girl, chill. You know, like it helps me chill out and want to reconcile or talk about whatever the issue is that we're having. But when the couple asked us that, I thought my response is, you just be honest. Like, right now, I'm just not feeling you right now. And hopefully you have a spouse that will not be all prideful or, you know, and really ask why you don't like me. Like if Tony wants to say like, yeah, I'm just not I'm just not feeling you right now. Like I would be like, well, why?
Yeah. But it's also the presentation.
Yeah.
Like
definitely.
the presentation matters on how you say things. And so when you're not feeling or not liking your spouse, that's when you should pause and reflect on like the memories and why you got married, but also remembering why that you have, you know, potentially, if you have kids, you got to remember, like, we ain't going nowhere. So we don't even say the D word. So we call divorce the D word. So that's a technical foul when you say divorce. Like that shouldn't even be an option. Like these days, it's an option. Like even going into it, divorce is an option. And so for you to really find that passion and to find that purpose as to why God put y'all together, you're going to need some help in terms of a couple that's mentoring you or coaching you or helping you talk through those things. Last year was the first time that me and Odessa really went and got some counseling. And it was one of the best things that we could have ever done because it helped us realize that there are certain things inside of us that trigger us, that brings triggers to us. And we know that trauma brings triggers. So sometimes we push things down, especially men, we don't talk about it, but we push things down. And then our spouses can say something to us and it triggers and it can come out in ways that we didn't mean for it to come out. And Odessa said something real important when we first was getting started, that you can't take words back. So once they're out there, once they're in the atmosphere, you can't take it back. And so taking that pause, remembering, reflecting on what God did for you. And we as men, we are supposed to love our spouses like Christ loves the church. And so as we continue to focus on creating that intimacy, we have to remember and reflect. I love what one of our pastor friends, Pastor Matt, told us this weekend, that you have to reflect and you have to really just sit in and reflect on the goodness of God, the goodness of your spouse, and the purpose as to why you guys are together.
Yeah, the whole triggering thing was real. Well, back up one. The whole presentation was something I had to work on. So we have, this thing where we'll ask each other if we can be hot. I think we talked about it in one of the other episodes, but if not, we use the acronym HOT, honest, open, and transparent. So when I will ask Tony, like, can I be hot with you about something? He could say yes, or he could say no. And a reason for him to say no would be because maybe he just had a long day and he's already been frustrated, with people, and he don't want to hear what I got to say at the moment. His heart is not in a position to receive, so he would just say no, and I would have to respect that. But here's the thing. When I said, can I be hot, in my mind, that was me letting him know I ain't about to say nothing that's about to be nice.
Right.
And I felt like because I said, can I be hot, I don't need no gentle startup.
You need no presentation.
My counselor was like, Odessa, you need to work on the gentle startup.
Gentle startup. We'll talk about that more, but there's a gentle startups.
I was like, no, I gave him the disclaimer, like, I'm about to be hot. So I'm not about to be like, hey, can I be hot? Hey, I just want to let you know that you're being great. No, that in my mind, that's what I was thinking. So I had to work really hard at the presentation because he's sensitive.
You don't gotta keep saying that though. Like, no, it's not the sensitive part. So I think it's more of I had trauma from being rejected. Like, and if your presentation comes off where I'm feeling some type of rejection or disrespect as well, because that's one of the main things that men need is respect and sex. A lot of sex, but respect. Like, I don't know how I got on that, but
yeah, okay.
But respect and rejection, I kind of retreat. And if the presentation is wrong, then I'll close off, and that's was my defensive mechanism, is to just shut off and don't hear it, and my heart is not open. And so presentation, remembering why you got married, remembering your vows, remembering, that promise that you made in front of everyone, the church, inside of a church. Most of you had married inside of a church with thousands or hundreds of witnesses. Remember when.
The remember wins, they help.
Mm-hmm.
They really do help. It gives you a moment to sit in it and figure out what is really upset with you. Like what really made you upset. Like what made you upset. So you sit in it for a minute. And because it's hard to be mad at somebody. Like if you're remembering all the good times that you had with them, then it's hard to be in a bitter spot or an angry spot, or like, having the tension roll around. So you just got to sit in it for a minute. Mm-hmm. And then I think after you sit in it, then you got to let it guide you what your next step will be.
Right.
Because if I speak to him out of the anger that I'm in or the frustration that I'm in, it ain't gonna do nothing but escalate the situation. It ain't gonna do nothing but make it worse. We're gonna continue to pull further apart from each other. But if I let that memory of the great times and how he treats me and how he makes me feel during the good times, then I think it omits a lot of extra issues. Because once those words leave your mouth,
yeah, you
can't take words back. And so those words that either leave you in jail or in front of a divorce judge. So
and that's what
let
we
it
don't
guide
want.
you. And that's what we don't want.
That's
and then I would say the third thing is to let that memory remind you to worship. Mm-hmm. And to pray and to seek the Lord on how to communicate to your spouse. I have to do that a lot. Like, Lord, this is your son.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
You know him better than I know him.
Come on.
I need you to teach me again how to talk to him. How do I present this thing to him? Because we both got to win. Like, I have to be able to say what I'm feeling, but I can't be putting him down in at the same time.
Right.
So I'm constantly asking the Lord of how to speak things. And you would think, like, after, you know, being with someone from over 20 years, being with someone for over 20 years, I would know how to talk to him, but no.
Yeah.
No, because the older he gets, the more
Wiser I get.
sensitive he becomes.
It's wiser. I think it's wisdom. I just want peace. The older I get, I just want peace. But that is our time for this week's episode of Remember and Win. And we will ask you guys to like, subscribe, share, and we are being positioned for purpose. So we're going to do our best to continue to give you an episode every week. And that's why we will also get you to a point where we are doing events. And so just be out on the lookout, but please like, subscribe, share, and we will see you guys next week.
Okay. And just remember, let those memories sit there for a moment. Let it guide you, and let it lead you into worship.
That's it. All right.
All right. We love y'all.
Grace and peace.